What is up, all my viewers from the magical land of the YouTube's shadows here, bringing you another episode of All My Parks, episode 2 to be exact. And what you might find surprising is that this actually isn't even my second park. The whole crowd gasps. But no, it's not my second park. It's probably more or less around my 15th park ever. So you might be wondering, well, Shadows, I mean, the series is called All My Parks, so why'd you skip the other 15 parks? I would have shown them to you if I could have shown them to you. The reason I can't show them to you is they're dead and gone. I've deleted them off of my Xbox because you see, I have 108 parks built, so every time I want to make a new park, I have to delete a park. So pretty much every time I would make a newer park, I would delete one of my older parks that weren't as good. So that is why 15 of the parks that are older than this are gone. Don't worry, you didn't miss out on much. They're pretty much the same thing as the last park I showed you guys. Maybe a little bit cleaner, a little bit cooler ramps, maybe some loop-de-loops in there. But overall, nothing special, nothing you haven't seen before, nothing you won't see coming soon. So don't feel bad, you didn't miss out on much. They weren't that great. But anyway, let's get into this park. So, about my 15th park, and actually, this isn't even how it originally looked. When I joined Rise, as you can see, there's Rise posters, I went through most of my older parks and revamped them a little. So even though everything on this park is pretty much exactly the same as it was, I did do some slight updates to it when I joined Rise, such as the color scheme and whatnot. Oh, actually, this particular one I revamped before joining Rise because I was just like spamming them all my parks, so I tried to make all my parks look as good as possible. So I went through some of my older parks to make them, you know, skate cleaner. But anyway, as you can see, it's not really a trick lining park at all. But it's also not a realistic park either, because obviously this isn't realistic. I was going for a realistic feel. Now, I know obviously I didn't nail it, and you also have to realize at the time I hadn't seen parks by like people like Pancakes and parks along those lines. I never saw anything like that. The only parks I had really seen before that were actually good were VIP All Days parks, and as you know, they're not realistic. They're wild and colorful. And don't get me wrong, they're amazing. And some of his parks I'll never be able to touch because he just has a very unique style to the way he builds his parks. It's not trick lining. It's not realistic. It's something about them. They're very, like, challenge-based. VIP All Day or Ice Skate Parks, that guy's amazing. But anyway, moving on. Those are the only parks I had seen. So, you know, when I was trying to go for a more of a realistic feel, this is what I came up with. I didn't even think of going on hardcore mode. I built it with the intention of people skating on it on easy difficulty, which I am doing right now, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the reason I'm skating it on easy right now is because it's built for easy mode. Even though it technically was supposed to be a realistic park, it was built for easy mode. But, you know, you can still see, this is not a great park. I mean, this is how far I've come in the last 2 years. This park is horrible, especially since it's supposed to be a realistic park, which it is not even close. And I mean, yes, it is my first crack at a realistic park whatsoever, but it's still miserably horrible. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, I greatly improved over the distance of this park to where I am now. If you guys check out my more realistic parks, my more realistic parks, well, they are more realistic, but my newer realistic parks, you can see how much better I've gotten. So really, I would say one of the biggest keys to building good parks is, first of all, time. Don't feel bad if you're making a bunch of bad parks. Like I said before in the last episode, you take something away from every park, and each time it gets better and better and better and better, you know? So don't feel discouraged if your parks aren't looking so great at first. And another big tip is time. Putting time into your park. Because a park like this, I probably only spent maybe an hour or two on this. I mean, this was back in the day. I was still learning how to build good parks. and whatnot, but I still only spent about, about an hour on it. Or maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe like 2 hours, alright? But, you know, you have to put time into your parks if you want them to become good. Your park is really going to show how much time you put into it. If you put a lot of time into your park and you work hard, it's going to turn out a lot better if you just rush everything and don't test your ramps out. Don't perfect all the little details. Your park's not going to be good. You have to take that time to really perfect your park, and that is a really important part of being a park builder. You have to have a lot of patience with that type of stuff. Like me, like I've been saying recently, it'll take me like 13 hours to build a park. Not because it would take me that long to build a park. If I was honestly sitting there, like focused, going try-hard mode, building a park, I could probably make a really good park in maybe 3-4 hours, alright? But the reason I don't do that is I feel like when I take more time and maybe watch a YouTube video, look at the park a little bit, say, I'm not so sure I like the way this is skating. I'll come back to it in 20 minutes after I watch this YouTube video. And then I'll come back and I'll look at it and maybe I'll have a fresh idea in my mind. I like to build parks like that. I mean, that's just me. I know a lot of other people build better when they just buckle themselves down and just build the park straight and that's all they do. But I prefer to watch videos and such when I build parks. But anyway, that'll be it for this episode. So stay tuned for another episode of All My Parks. I don't know about any park showcases coming soon because I'm currently not working on a park. I've been kind of busy working on this montage lately. It's gonna take a while to come out because it wanted to trick lining montage, and I've gotten a bit rusty at trick lining over the last so and so. And another reason is I'm going to be editing it, and I don't really have much experience as an editor, and I want to do a good job on it. I want to get some practicing with doing good edits on videos. So it could be a while before that comes out. So I'm going to try to keep making Skate 3 videos. The pace of them might be a little slower until that comes out, just because, I'm working on another Skate 3 video as well. So thanks for watching. Be sure to slap that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.